All right, so we're diving deep into the EVZ saga today, but we're going way beyond Dragon's Role. We're talking about the origin of a brand new world called Prodigy. And let me tell you, it's a wild ride. We've got fugitive dragons, wizards gone rogue, and yeah, even gods that just love to destroy universes. So, what in the world connects a fugitive dragon, a wizard who's completely broken, and 3 universe-destroying gods? I know, it sounds like the start of a really weird joke, right? But stick with me, because that's the core question we're going to unravel today. We're going to see how all these crazy separate threads actually weave together into one epic story. Okay, let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in a world that, well, it pretty much just appeared out of thin air. It's a chaotic, brand new universe, and it's the perfect stage for our first key character. And that world is called Prodigy. Imagine this, a universe just poof, blinks into existence, and it's already packed with life. Right at the center of it all is this big, important academy for young wizards. Think of it as this beacon of magic, and trust me, it's about to become the dead center of all the chaos. So, who's the first to show up in this new world? None other than Ultura, the Mad Dragon of Luminosity. And yeah, that title is as epic as it sounds. She has this incredible power over light. But she's not here on vacation. Nope, she's on the run. She's a fugitive, trying to find a place to lay low after a huge defeat 10 years back. And what catches her eye? The Academy. She can feel the raw magic coming off of it, and she's thinking, hey, maybe this is the safe haven I've been looking for. And it's at this academy where Ultura runs into a student who is going to change, well, pretty much everything. The source material is hilarious about this guy. It doesn't just say he's naughty. It says he was very, very naughty. So yeah, meet Vexarian. Well, being very, very naughty has consequences. Vexarian gets himself booted from the academy. And his dad's reaction? Oh, it's totally calm and rational. Just kidding. He goes ballistic, robs the entire school, grabbing every single spell and scroll he can get his hands on. And just like that, boom, Vexarian and his whole family are now fugitives on the run. And this is where our first 2 storylines crash into each other. Ultura sees how desperate they are and decides to help. But the help she offers, it's questionable. She points them towards the super infamous, super evil group called the Order of Influence. She has no idea, but she's just sent young Vexarian down a very, very dark path he can never come back from. Yeah, that one decision, it kicks off Vexarian's entire tragic downfall. So let's watch how a naughty student turns into something way, way worse. His path down is just heartbreaking, really. He joins this evil order, and for a minute, he finds his place, even makes friends with the leader. But then tragedy strikes again. A weird plague hits, and his father and the leader, they just disappear. He's lost everything. Again. Utterly crushed by sadness and terrified of being alone, he creates just one little puppet, Pipit, to have a friend. But that fear of loss is huge. One companion isn't enough, so to make sure he's never alone again, he builds a whole army of them. And we're not talking about a little hobby here. This became a full-blown obsession. It just exploded. He made tons and tons of these puppets, pipettes, poppets, you name it. And get this, the source material actually says one of them was named Pinocchio. How great is that? At this point, he wasn't Vexarian anymore. Everyone just knew him as the Puppet Master. Okay, so while Vexarian is off building his puppet empire, what's going on with Ultura? Well, she's got her own crisis brewing, but it's a totally different kind. This one's all about family. It's a really interesting contrast, right? Vexarian is isolating himself in grief, but Ultura finds a new reason to live, her family. She has 2 kids, Nebula and Solar, and they even have a daughter, Luma. The family is growing. But here's the problem. As her family grows, so does their power, and the Kingdom of Prodigy starts getting nervous. They stop seeing them as refugees and start seeing them as a huge threat. So here we go again. Ultura is back to being a fugitive, but this time, she's got her whole family line to look after. So what's a super smart dragon matriarch to do? She comes up with an absolutely brilliant plan. She actually goes back to Vexarian, borrows a cloner from him, and makes perfect copies, decoys of her entire family. Then she just leaves the clones behind for the kingdom to worry about. It's so clever. While everyone's busy dealing with the fakes, she manages to sneak her real family out of there completely unnoticed. And the plan? it worked like a charm. Altura and her real family get away clean. She even gives a little wave goodbye to Vexarian as they leave Prodigy behind to continue their journey through the galaxy. And for now, it seems like her part in this world's story is done.
But just because Altura is gone, don't think for a second that things are about to get quiet in Prodigy. Oh no, far from it. As she's leaving, something else is coming. A new threat is emerging from deep space, and it's on a whole other level from anything we've seen so far.
And when I say a whole other level, I mean it. We're talking cosmic scale here. We have to jump almost 10 million light years away to see where our new villains are coming from. Yeah, the scope of this story just got gigantic. So let's meet this new threat, the Trio of Darkness. First up, you've got Disu. His hobby? Wrecking entire universes, just for fun. Then there's his brother, Alat. And rounding out the group is Nergi, a dragon who literally exists to cause extinction. So yeah, not exactly a friendly group. And these guys do not mess around. They show up in this universe called Alefgard and just demolish it. I mean, they completely ruin the climate, and they take out the local dragon lord in seconds, not minutes, seconds. Their power is just off the charts. But just when it looks like a hero might step in to stop them, something completely unexpected happens. Altura, yes, our Altura, shows up out of nowhere and actually saves the trio from the hero. It's a huge twist. And in the process, she accidentally gives them her power of luminosity. So now these universe destroyers are even more powerful. Whoops. So now they're supercharged with light power, and they go hunting for these ancient gadgets called Terra Crowns. Disu has this moment of dark inspiration, melts them all down, and unlocks this insane energy source called infinitus power. They all soak it up, and just like that, they get the one thing they wanted more than anything. They become immortal. At this point, they're basically gods. They're unstoppable. And that brings everything full circle. This is where it all comes together. Every story we've been following, Altura and her family, Vexarian and his puppets, and this immortal trio on a rampage, they are all on a collision course. So, what do you do when you're a newly immortal god of destruction? You pick a new target. And in the most awful twist of fate, their eyes land on one little chaotic world in particular, the world of Prodigy. Which brings us right back to our big question. What is going to happen when a lonely puppet master full of rage, a brilliant dragon matriarch who just managed to escape, and a trio of immortal, universe-destroying gods all end up in the same place at the same time? What happens when they all collide on Prodigy? Well, that sounds like a story for another day, doesn't it?